It all started with a name, or rather, the changing of one. My husband took my last name, and that simple, personal decision unraveled into a silent war at his workplace. It should have been a celebration of love, of partnership. Instead, it lit a fuse. When his workplace processed the change, word got out. The office split like oil and water. Half his coworkers thought it was hilarious. The other half, outraged, almost personally offended. But one voice rose above the rest in its disapproval. One name repeated in our home more than anyone else's: Brenda. Brenda made her stance very clear. Loud, cold, judgmental. She didn't just have an opinion, she had a crusade, a mission it seemed, to correct what she believed was a moral imbalance in my marriage. Now, here's the part you need to know. My husband and I share a group chat with his coworkers. It's for coordinating rides during the pandemic. It's practical, it's helpful, and because of the nature of his job as a rural mail carrier with spotty service, it's necessary for me to be in that chat. But ever since the name change, that chat hasn't just been about carpooling. It's been a slow boil of jokes, jabs, and judgment. Most of the time, we ignore it. We're not children. But that doesn't mean it doesn't sting. And then, the day came when silence wasn't enough. I had a late work shift coming up, and I messaged the group to ask if someone could give my husband a ride home. One coworker immediately said yes. Simple. Easy. But then, Brenda chimed in. Maybe if you spent less time at work and more time being a wife, your husband wouldn't come into work with dirty shirts. I blinked at the message. Now, my husband works in 90-degree heat on dusty roads delivering mail. His shirts aren't dirty because I neglect them. They're dirty because he works hard. I do wash them, but there's only so much a washing machine can do when sweat and dust become a second skin. So I responded, trying to keep it light. I could make cleaning those shirts my full-time job, and it wouldn't do much LOL. But Brenda wasn't done. You won't be married very long if you keep trying to be the man in the relationship. I'd be embarrassed as a wife if I did so little for my husband. There it was, the implication. That because I wasn't playing 1950s housewife, I wasn't worthy of my marriage. I responded, well, I work more hours and pay the bills, so I think he can OxyClean his own shirts if it's so important. And Brenda fired back again. Maybe you should learn to take proper care of your husband, or you'll find yourself divorced. That was the moment the line was crossed. You can come for my choices. You can joke about laundry. But to say I'm risking divorce because I don't bow to her outdated version of a good wife? So I looked at her message, read it again, and I typed, I'll let you know when I need relationship advice from someone who's 42 and single. There was silence in the chat, and then chaos. Apparently, Brenda has now taken it upon herself to tell everyone I mocked her for being single in her 40s, that I attacked her, that I crossed the line. But let me ask you something. How is it that she can call me a bad wife, say I'll be divorced, tell me I'm trying to be the man, and that's okay? But the moment I point out that maybe, just maybe, she's not qualified to give marriage advice, suddenly, I'm the villain? Let's be clear. I don't care if someone is single at 42. I don't care if they're single at 62. I care that someone with no frame of reference is insulting my marriage under the guise of advice. She wants to talk about being a wife. She's never been one. She wants to judge my role in my relationship. She's never been in mine. She wants to tell me what a real marriage looks like. Mine works just fine, and she's not invited in. People say I was too harsh, that I hit below the belt, that I made it personal. But it was personal. She took something intimate, my marriage, my partnership, and used it as a weapon to shame me. And for what? Because my husband made an independent choice? Because I have a career? Because I won't apologize for being the breadwinner? After I sent that message, I showed my husband the whole exchange. I asked him if what I said hurt his feelings, particularly the part about me paying the bills. You know what he said? "Sometimes I forget you're a hard little bitch who takes no prisoners. I'm so proud." And when I pressed him further, wondering if maybe I'd gone too far, he laughed. "Oh yeah, it's so hard having a hot wife who makes good money. Really tough. Pray for me." That's my husband. We don't measure love in laundry loads. We don't define marriage by who scrubs the floors. We define it by mutual respect, by laughter in hard moments, by knowing we have each other's backs, no matter who does what chore. So when Brenda tells me I'll be divorced soon, I just smile, because she doesn't know what it's like to have someone who celebrates you, not tolerates you. She doesn't know what it's like to have a partner who doesn't see gender roles, just shared goals. She doesn't know what it's like to sit across the table from someone who sees your strength and isn't threatened by it. So, am I the asshole? Was I wrong to clap back? Should I have taken the high road while she threw stones from her glass house? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe there was a gentler way to shut her down. But sometimes, bullies don't stop until you draw the line with a permanent marker. And maybe, just maybe, that was the only language Brenda understood. This one hits deep, because it's not just about name changes or laundry, or even snarky coworkers. It's about how we define love. About the ways we still, even today, box women into roles they didn't ask for and shame them when they step outside. It's about the quiet revolution that happens when two people create their own rules and refuse to apologize for it. It's about power, respect, and boundaries. And it's about how some people, like Brenda, will always be more comfortable policing others than reflecting on themselves. Here's the truth. Being single doesn't disqualify you from having insight, but using your own insecurity as a weapon to tear down someone else's relationship, that's not insight, that's projection. So maybe the next time someone like Brenda starts giving unsolicited advice, we remember this story, and maybe we ask ourselves, in our friendships, in our relationships, in our communities, are we empowering people to live authentically, or are we punishing them for not fitting our script? That's what I leave you with tonight. And if you've ever had to defend your life, your choices, your love, to someone who doesn't live it, just remember, you don't owe them softness when they come at you with sharp edges. Thanks for listening to AITA Story Vault. If this hit home for you, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had to draw a hard line? Have you ever been shamed for living differently? We'd love to hear your story.